Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just a quick video. I know I've been throwing out a lot of these little short quick videos lately, but just try to keep everybody informed and try to keep my channel active and keep the algorithm, in favor and all that good stuff. But anyway, so everybody, well, I'm gonna say everybody, but anybody who's subscribed to my channel, or if you're not subscribed and you've seen any of my other videos, you know I've been messing with the HBX 2997A lately. Just got it back together technically last night, but finished it up this morning. And the truck is great out of the box. If you're not one of the type of people who can't leave well enough alone, or just you got to try to get, I guess, I don't know if that's the right terminology to use, but I've always been the type to try to find out exactly how fast something is and what it's made of, and then start upgrading it to my taste. Okay, the only downfall I can tell you so far about the 2997A from High Boxing is, or HBX, however you want to say it, of course, is the stock tires. They're atrocious. I've already got a couple of emails with HBX, been talking with one of their people there, and they're actually, you heard this from a little birdie somewhere else. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. They're in the process of taking advice and knowledge they've learned from watching all these videos, all you great people out there, JTRC, Derby City RC, you got Brian's RC stuff, Drones and Dogs. There's so many great channels out there. Kevin Talbot. I don't know if I've seen Kevin actually review the HBX or not, but there's a lot of great guys out there that's reviewed this truck, and everybody has been basically like me. They've been extremely satisfied with it. Other than the tires, the only thing I'll say is the stock radio. Okay, it doesn't have a lot of range. That's one thing that will hurt you trying to do speed runs, is you'll lose a signal sometimes. I've lost a signal once. Went about, I guess technically the far I was away from it, I measured it, and I think I was right at about 460 feet. But I kind of held the radio up higher and regained control, but it was too late. I had to abort the run. But anyway, so that's going to be, I've been saying I want to do everything I can possibly do to this thing with stock electronics to find out what the top speed is before I change anything. And unfortunately, I think the limiting factor to that's going to be the radio. So why am I sitting here holding this phone in front of a little bit older Spektrum radio? Okay, well, I'll go ahead and show you. I've got a brand new receiver to go with it, of course, a bind plug. This is a little bit older STX 2 that I've had for a while. Okay, but one thing I do like about this radio, even though it's cheap, of course, it's got your common, throttle and steering, reverse, and all that stuff. But you got your throttle trim here, your steering trim, throttle rate, steering rate, and you got your limiting switch here. You got 50%, 75, or 100. The thing about this radio, I got about 550 feet out of it stock, and I had a video about this exact radio on my other channel. Of course, if you're familiar with that, my other videos, my other channel was hacked, so that's why I'm starting over trying to build this one. But anyway, I have went in and done an internal antenna mod on this radio. The stock antenna here, the 2.4 gigahertz antenna, was basically just like this, and it is buried behind all this plastic. They got this little dummy thing here, make you think the antenna's all up in there. It's not. So what I done is went in and just kind of upgraded it with an iFlight antenna that I actually had for a drone, and I drilled a hole in the body shell of the last car that I had this radio, that I was using this radio with, and it got almost 800 feet. So what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to make a video of it, I'm going to take this radio back apart, and I'm going to probably drill a little small hole here, and I'm going to put a dipole on this side antenna, and I'm going to put an omnidirectional antenna on this side. So, and then just get a Y connector and wire them together. So, and of course I'm going to have to get me a little flip switch put down here to see which antenna I'm running off of, but I'll try to go through that in the video and let you know. Basically you can flip the switch and be running off the dipole, which is more of a straight at it, distance. And the omnidirectional is just that. It's pretty much 360 degrees. So I'm going to make a video on that. I've had people question me and ask me about if I do stuff like that. And I do. And I can tell you, a lot of people's probably going to say, okay, well, why do you have all those Dumbo RCs that they sent you to try this and that, et cetera, et cetera? And why don't you just use one of those? And I can tell you the Dumbo RC out of the box, every one I've used so far, I mean, I haven't went out and done like a range test like I have with drones, but I haven't lost connection with any of my Dumbo RCs yet, so I really don't know what the range is on them. But I know right now what the range is on this one. But a lot of people may think I'm crazy, but I like this old radio. I really do. It fits right. I wish it had the thumb thing on it, make it a little easier. It did have foam on the wheel, and it dried out and cracked and rotted and all that. I've got a new one of those, and I've actually got a thumb adapter to go on here too, so that way you can kind of drive it with one hand. But I really, really, really like this radio because you got a lot of fine tuning, and it works really well. It really does. It's a little bit older technology, I know, but sometimes the newest stuff isn't the best. And it was hard. I'm gonna go and tell you now that took me a while to find somebody that had one of these in stock. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of channels with it. You got your auxiliary, you got your throttle, you got your steer, and then the bind port. But, hey, if you're doing speed runs like I am, that's all you need anyway. But I finally found a couple of these, and I went ahead and ordered an extra one just in case. That's the only bad thing about this Spektrum radio is it's not DSM or DSMR. So you do have to have this dedicated receiver for it. Or, one of the trucks, actually I think the little Ruckus ECW or whatever it is, ECU, whatever can't remember what they're called. It was one of my daughter's first RCs, a little 18th scale truck. It come with a little brushed motor in it, 380 brush motor. And it had the 2-in-1 receiver ESC combo, and that's what this radio was with. And it was hard to find a standalone receiver, and I finally got in touch with one of the tech guys at Spektrum, and he was like, oh yeah, this is what you need, it'll work with it, because I had several Spektrum receivers here, but all of them were DSM and all that, and it would not work. So anyway, we're going after, I'm going to try the speed test first with the tires and all that stuff, but if I happen to lose connection, then I don't, I hope I don't get nobody flaming me in the comments saying, oh, I thought you were going to leave it stock and stock electronics and all that. Well, if you're losing the signal, you can't really get the top speed out of something and max it out and see what it'll do if you ain't got signal. So that will be the only thing I change, and I will document it just like I do everything so far on this channel, and I always will. I will show you that it'll have the stock, same ESC in it. It's going to have the stock motor, the little 2847 and the F540 can. We all know that. The only thing I've done, if you watch my other videos, is I put a cooling fan on the motor and I relocated the ESC over to the steering servo. That way I could remove that little, it's like a little chassis. It's not really a chassis stiffening bar, but it's more or less like a little brace or a little bar to keep the stock battery location from sliding when the ESC was over there, so it didn't bump into it. You kind of grind that out of the way, and it opens up that whole battery tray to where you can fit a bunch of stuff in it. So trust me, I know the stock ESC, I can just tell you now, as soon as I hook a 4S to it, it's probably going to smoke it. But I'm definitely going to need a better radio with a lot more range once I decide to go 4S, which is going to be the first, electronics speed mod type thing that I do to it. I'm not going to touch the motor or nothing. I'm going to have to just upgrade the ESC, and I've already explained that in another video, so we won't go into that. But once I do put the dipole antenna on this side with the omnidirectional on this side and a little flip switch, a little diff switch is what I'm going to you know, I don't know yet where I'm going to put it. Maybe here. I don't know. It'll have a neutral. It's 3-way. It's going to be neutral in the middle. Basically, it'll be running off both of them, which does not work good. You don't want to do that. Not if you got a dipole and omnidirectional. You'll pick up a lot of interference. So, you know, go to the left. You're going to be running on the dipole. Flip the switch to the right. You'll be running on the omnidirectional. So I'll explain all that in the video, and I've had somebody ask me about upgrading the antenna anyway. So, and if I've done it, so this will be a great little radio to do it on. So stick around, guys. I kind of just went out in the cul-de-sac in the neighborhood here and made a few little quick test passes with the HBX after I put the wheelie bar on the back. And if you watch the other videos, you know what I've done to the tires. Kind of got the tires fixed to keep them from ballooning. And yeah, you're going to enjoy the speed test, guys. You're going to enjoy it. So I hope you all tune in and watch them, because it's going to be interesting. I think you're going to be surprised. So I appreciate you watching, guys. Everybody that's subscribed, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, I greatly appreciate it. It makes this old man's day just to know that people appreciate what I do. I've had a lot of people thank me and tell me, you know, to keep up the good work, yada, 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 and I greatly appreciate that. That means the world to me. May not ever meet any one of you guys, but maybe one day we can all have a meetup somewhere, or try to arrange something, you know, because I used to go to a lot of drone meetups, and I'd love to go to, you know, an RC bash or something like that. So anyway, I appreciate you watching, guys. If you don't mind, consider hitting that thumbs up button. It really helps get these videos out in the algorithm. And hey, if you like this kind of stuff, if you like fast RCs, if you like taking RC stuff and making them faster, you'll like this channel. I really, really think you will. And hey, if you don't, you can unsubscribe, right? Doesn't cost you a dime. And you know, it just kind of helps us out, so I'd greatly appreciate it. Everybody have a blessed Memorial holiday weekend. Remember those men and women in uniform, those who have given all, and let's remember them on this Memorial Day, because they gave everything they had for this country, for you and I, and for us to be able to do this. And that's a debt we'll all forever be indebted to and never be able to repay. God bless. Take care. See you in the next one.